Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 391.
391.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mousespan Travel. 2022 vacation packages for Walt Disney World are available, and we are closer to Disneyland reopening. I think we're going to hear something about that pretty soon. Check out MEI and Mousespan Travel to book a trip. Or not necessarily 22,
Not to
maybe
mention the
this
50th
year.
anniversary.
Yes, this year.
October 1st.
October 1st. And also we have Epcot Flower and Garden Festival through July 5th.
And speaking of the Epcot International, a taste of the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, we're starting outside the park this year, and we're looking at the Fantasia topiaries here, the mushrooms.
Right, the Fantasia, we've seen the Fantasia grouping outside, well, we've seen the mushrooms out here as well.
Right, a number of years ago.
Right, and we've seen the other Fantasia topiaries in the front entrance. It's a little different this year in that they're kind of spread out everywhere, which I don't know if that's how they'll do it every year, but it's really nice considering, you know, for social distancing, you've got ostriches, here we have Sorcerer Mickey, then we have, you know, the hippo and the alligator, or as one guest said, Figment.
Do you remember last time that they had the Fantasia characters out here? Mickey was up on it looked like a hill or a mountain. It must have been a mountain.
Oh, well, maybe it was like a wave or something.
Yeah, right. So it's very different. So even if you have the same theme out in the front, it's completely different than they did a number of years ago last time.
Well, I found, I had an article on Sorcerer Mickey being out here. I don't know if it was like 2011 or something, and I think we've seen him here a couple of times. Mm-hmm. And here are, I don't know, is it Hyacinth Hippo?
Yes,
and Ben Alligator. But so we're going to start here and mention, like you can see, like they have eyes. Hyacinth Hippo has a little bit of pink to the tutu. There's some changes this year with a lot of the topiaries, and we did an interview and found out like Imagineering actually worked with them. I'm going to write up probably next week an article on that.
Right. Here in the ostriches, these close-up shots, you can see they all have a little different look, different character, more like the actual film. So as you said, it was very interesting to learn they brought in an Imagineer to really get that on point.
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting to me. And not all the characters look different, but quite a few do have at least a little differences. We're looking at these new flags, which went up on March 3rd, or they were raised that day. And there's also new lighting and music as the transformation of Epcot continues. The flags have 6 original icons.
Right, you have 12 flags, but there's 6, the 6 original icons on each side. So here you have the land, you have the world of motion, imagination, all of the spaceship Earth,
seas,
the seas, yes. Yep. So I love seeing these classic logos back.
I think the front entrance looks so nice. The new fountain, you've got the music. None of the music's actually new. It comes from a variety of different sources.
Right. It's a long new loop, so we'll have to get into that further as we have a chance to really listen to it and, see if it grows on us.
And here is, I think it actually sounds pretty good when I walk in. So here's Figment. Figment was one of the last topiaries put up for the Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival this year.
Yeah, he was the only topiary that wasn't there a day early, as far as I can tell. He looks a little different. I think he looks better than ever this year.
Yeah, the eye, you can really tell in those eyes. Now, the one thing is here, Innoventions, I don't know what to call it right now, the west side of the park. Innoventions West, Communicore West.
Well, it's being demolished, so it's probably going to be gone very soon.
Well, this area has never had so many topiaries. Every year, a little more, and there's so much topiary love on this side of the park now.
And this is one of my favorites. I mean, it's been around for a long time. You have Simba up there, but look at the difference between Mufasa and that's not Sarabi.
I know. I always have said
I know it's
Nala.
not Nala. Right. Nala wouldn't be there yet. She hasn't met young Simba.
Or older Simba, yeah. And so here are Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy, and they are in this breezeway area. And it's a construction theme, and they were also a construction theme last year.
Shows you how long that construction has been going. The transformation of Epcot.
Yes, probably next year as well. So I know that Goofy I believe he's the tallest topiary at Epcot. I tried to look him up, but couldn't find the height. I know it's out there somewhere because I've written it up. So he's really a very large topiary
Right.
when you see
He
him
is
in
one of my
person.
favorites. It's, as you say, larger than life by far. It's an awesome topiary.
And so we have these characters, and then we're going to be turning around to see other, especially kind of those Fab Five plus topiaries like Donald and Daisy and such. But it's really amazing to see. You've got the flowers. I think it feels like there's more of these flowers than ever before also.
And for a number of years, these topiary were out in the front you'd see the giant Goofy out front for many, many years.
And then we have Pluto, and he has measuring tape. And he also has we've seen him with this sunflower collar.
That's great. I love that. That's such a great detail.
And then we have Chip and Dale. Chip and Dale have been part of the festival. This is probably about their 4th year.
And this is a great location because they're really close. They're really small, so it's nice that you can get right up and see them, up and close and personal.
And I feel like there's a lot more of that this year. Like, we're going to go see orchids shortly. And, the orchids are really down at a level you can enjoy them. And it's nice to have the characters so close here so you can really, enjoy the quality, and they're just so fun.
Well, as you said that, it occurred to me, this is like kid level. They're looking face to face with Chip and Dale. How cool is that?
And then there's it looks like little nails and such in the flowers.
That's right. I guess that's what they're using for their construction. They're working hard to get Epcot up and going.
They must be working at night.
So now we're about to transfer over to see Donald, Daisy, Huey, Dewey, and Louie here.
And, it's funny because there's little things that I noticed on the topiaries this year, like Daisy has eyeshadow. Just like Miss Piggy has purple gloves. There's a lot of purple this year.
Well, Donald has had that bee on his forehead for years. You would have thought he would have swatted that bee away, but
no.
Still there.
And we have the nephews behind them. And the nephews came into Epcot Flower and Garden around the same time that Chip and Dale did 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And they had been up front.
The first year they were all up front, I remember.
And and there's Spike the Bee. He is part of a scavenger hunt. We have not done that yet. There's a lot of things we still haven't done, but will.
We were at Epcot 4 days in a row, and I can't wait to go back.
I know we were
not enough time.
We weren't there all day, every day. We would go for a few hours at a time, mostly. And I could be there every day. I just love the Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
And we're looking at a butterfly later on. We'll actually be going into the butterfly tent and seeing some real butterflies. So that'll be fun.
It was nice to be able to do that this year, and reimagining the future. We're looking at the Harmonious barges. They had that centerpiece icon ring come in about a week ago.
Well, it happened right as we were doing the last show. So we showed pictures from Disney, but really not our own shot. So here you can have some fun framing some of the different icons with this Harmonious setup.
Yeah, and in the last week they've also had some testing for the fountains, and we have not yet seen that in person because I don't think anybody's seen it in person except like over the
it was done before the park opened,
yes.
I guess. So what is I wrote this down for you. I don't remember. What are they normally are called the Jamators.
They are normally called the Jamators, and they are the Jammin' Gardeners.
Jammin' Gardeners. And they were great, by the way.
I really enjoyed them, and it was, they really get into what they do. Of
Hidden
course,
Mickey.
The Jamators have been at Epcot since 1996. And so it's really nice to see them. They've been used for the various, I don't want to say used. They've been here for the various festivals at this point.
Along
just
with
like
Mariachi
the
Cobre
and the Voice of Liberty. So it's nice to see them, continue in a different theme. And we are at World Showplace. We didn't know there'd be a Mickey and Minnie back here, so it was really fun, especially since this is going to be a very popular photo spot. I'm sure it already is.
Right. This was another opening day surprise because opening day we just walked back here. We did not expect to see topiary, and here you go.
But not only topiaries of Mickey and Minnie, but these beautiful, flowers and the flower trees. I think this Mickey and Minnie remind me of the ones that used to be at the Magic Kingdom over at the Rose Garden area.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I think these are probably the frames.
And didn't these characters at one point used to be in front of the old Wonders of Life pavilion? They would have them in a planter there with some of the other smaller characters. I remember for a number of years they had them out there. So you'd have 2 sets of some of the Fab Five characters.
Well, I don't remember what form they were in there, so I would have to look. But, there's obviously quite a few different frames of the different topiaries.
So we were also at a media event for the Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, and I'll let you set up the merchandise interview we did with Will Dasso.
Will Dasso is terrific. He is a guest experience manager for merchandise, and we're not showing the whole 8 minutes. It's a long one.
We'll link to it if you really want to see every item.
But we're just going to show some orange bird
some
items
highlights.
And all that, and Will is fantastic. So here he is.
Hi everybody, I'm Will. I'm a guest experience manager at Epcot Festival Merchandise. I'm going to be showing you all the products that are new for the 2021 Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. You can see Figment has been transformed into a topiary. So there he is, similar to the one that you may have seen in our park in the past. Something that's great about this storyline is that many of the items are crafted from sustainable materials. So starting with the t-shirt in organic cotton, we actually have the commuter mug and the lunchbox with the cutlery set. These are made of bamboo, even though to the touch it might feel more like plastic. It's so much more environmentally responsible and sustainable. Our notebook is made of repurposed paper, and our planter right here is stoneware, which is a nice durable material that will not break down over time. Maybe the most exciting chapter we've saved for last, I don't know, you tell me, is Hello Sunshine featuring the orange bird. Again, this chapter is backed by popular demand. We definitely saw the response last year and how guests loved it, so we made it even bigger. We've got multiple pieces that can coordinate together that are all produced by Spirit Jersey. So we have our lovely windbreaker that's made of nylon right here, Spirit Jersey, the bucket hat, and what I don't have to show you today, but it will be out very soon, is a coordinating face covering in true 2020-2021 style.
Wow.
Go ahead and pick up your Orange Bird shoulder plush, available now as well. All these items, incidentally, you could pick up at the port of entry near the center of Epcot. Couple last items in the Hello Sunshine collection. We got this really cool vase right here that is inspired by an orange juice carton. And of course, we gotta focus on that headband. We know that's going to be quite the popular item. We got sequins, we got the kind of the flashy material in the center, and kind of orange blossom, an orange-inspired look for the ears.
So a lot of really cool merchandise. Also, what we didn't show and now is available is a new Orange Bird sipper.
And we have to take a look at that, really.
We have
Maybe
to get
we'll
one.
have to,
Yeah,
we'll probably have to get one.
It was really busy when we were there.
The line for the sipper was very long.
So now it's time to start talking about some of the food items.
And so we tried, really most of what we tried was items sold inside of World Show Place, because there's several different locations. And we also tried we ordered something on our own in France, and we're going to do more of that next week.
Fried green tomatoes. It doesn't sound like it would be good, but it was really good.
There's some people, that would be something they would eat all the time, but it's not something that I've really ever had. Watermelon salad. This is a staple of the Flower and Garden Festival. They've had it for years. I enjoy that quite a lot. It has pickled onions, feta, and balsamic reduction. This is a key lime tart with toasted meringue. Very good. I'm not always really a tart person, but I enjoyed that quite a lot.
And we didn't mention the brisket sandwich. And we're going to see all these items in real life because we were actually able to try them outside.
And so this is a watermelon salad. And I think we first had that like 4 or 5 years ago. That's something really in every year. Then there's a beef brisket burnt ends with smoked pork belly slider. That's
a meal. That is absolutely really a meal. You can't pick it up. The first time I tried it, I tried to eat it as a sandwich. Bad idea. Very messy.
And then we also tried, some drink items also. I did not have this. I think this is the house-made potato and cheddar biscuit with salmon.
I did try that.
Did you?
The biscuit was fantastic. Really good. I would just have the biscuit and be happy.
We also tried, a variety of different drinks as well. They have quite a bit going on inside of World Show Place.
There was something with moonshine that we tried.
Well, there were several hard ciders, and there was one that I really liked of that, and I'm just
Frozen lemonade with
Firefly Blackberry
Yes,
Moonshine.
that was very good.
Yes.
Oh, now we can talk about the ciders.
So the Firefly, they've been selling their moonshine for like many years now in Epcot. So this is the ciders were really good, and they have the listing of the different ciders in here. Blake's hard cider, Triple Jam hard cider, which was excellent. Bold Rock watermelon hard cider, and Three Daughters Brewing pink lemonade hard cider, which was my second favorite of the three.
Yeah, and we finished every drop of those ciders, and we only had like 2 minutes to do it, so we were in a big hurry
I'll
at
probably
that
get
point.
I'll probably get the Blakes again. I like that.
And you're looking at some behind the scenes look at topiary and how they're made and the frames and all this, and this is also at the very back of World Showplace.
And it has nothing to do with the media event. But it's
there
nice,
all the time.
Right. It's nice. There's still an educational component to the Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, even though they can't have seminars and such right now.
And we're back out at the UK, and you can see they're doing a little touch up, and there you are, a little background shot
there I am, yes.
And they're trimming Tigger there, and so it's very interesting. I was talking to her, and I guess they have to be out there every day trimming them and keeping them looking so perfect.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, I think they probably have at least like 80 topiaries this year, and I know they say like 100, but I think it's closer. I counted them closer to 80.
And you could see the little fireflies there. We didn't notice that at the beginning with Tinkerbell.
The
This
lights.
is something that the lights. This is something you discovered in the window. You have an interesting look of Alice in Wonderland and the White Rabbit and some of the other characters.
The Dormouse. Is that how you say it?
I think so.
I haven't seen it in so long. So I thought this was really nice. They've been switching out these windows. Like, okay, this side of shops is closed. The Sportsman shop's closed. The Toy Soldier is closed. But it's so cool that they keep making these really fun windows.
And you saw the Alice in the window, and here's the Alice in the garden.
Yeah. Well, Alice and Mary Poppins swap out here. The only, like right now, when you're trying to look for tea, like we did this tea tour, it's a little harder when
Well, only when Alice comes out, and she's only out there for about 15 minutes, so it's, you can chat with Alice while you're waiting to look for your tea.
But it makes it more challenging because a lot of more guests end up coming into the garden while you're doing this self-guided tea tour, which is what we did.
Let's set this up. This is a map that you get inside the store, the shop.
Inside the tea caddy. So normally they have a guided tea tour, and they've had a paid tea tour, the Royal Tea Tour.
Which we've done twice.
I have enjoyed that quite a lot.
Scones, so good.
Yeah, and but this time, of course, it is a self-guided tea tour, and it's nice they still do it. You get a couple little tea bags at the end. It can get a little crowded back here if you have characters, especially. As soon as Alice comes, everybody wants to come through here. So it is a little more challenging, but we got our, you look for 12 teacups. And once you're done looking for the 12 teacups, you tell them that you found them all. And then we got a little prize of a couple tea bags.
It's very relaxing, and you actually can learn something. Some of the tea samples that you were given that day, I guess we were given, I had different ones. I tried them. I've been drinking them all week. They're really good. It made me realize some teas that I like that I would not have known.
And you just saw me there in the garden when nobody was there and there were no characters.
Like the cold infused teas, for instance. That's something that we learned from the festival. At least I did.
Right. A year or two back, I actually buy those now. The cold infused. I don't even know if they're officially tea, but they're really good. It's a nice little thing to put in your water bottle. So here we are heading into France. The pink blooms are almost off the tree now, and the macaron chocolate lollipop is back at the France Pavilion.
So good.
It's one of 2 dessert items. I will try the other one next time. This is a really nice item. They always have very high quality macaron items for the festivals, and
And it's
it was
big.
good.
It's enough for 2.
It was for us to split, and so we're now leaving France, and we're looking at some of these character topiaries that they
I
sell.
always want to buy one, but then I learned that they're very, very hard to. It's not going to look like the kind that you have here at Epcot.
I wouldn't expect that, but I guess you'd have to work at it. And here are Lady and the Tramp. They're back in their location. They look just a tiny bit different than normal, but not too much. I mean, they generally have that same look that we're used to.
Right, everything looks so sharp, well kept. Like you can tell the festival has just started because everything looks right top perfect.
And so the Germany display is celebrating the Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. Although I think their little tiny banners only say Epcot Flower and Garden, so I think they're from last year.
Aha. Well, sometimes they're a little slow to start celebrating in that town. So it's
They weren't too
right
slow.
on the money. Opening day, they were celebrating.
And we're seeing the trains going by.
I love these trains.
I thought it was interesting. There's one of the trains that I looked up because it had a name on it, and it's a Swiss train, and it's like, this is Germany, so why do we have like a Switzerland?
Is it this one?
Yes, it is actually this one, Golden Pass. So I looked up. It seems to be completely a Swiss train.
Well, it's on the move. It's going from Switzerland.
But it's not. It's not. It's just staying in Switzerland.
Two of my favorites.
Dopey was changed to this upgraded look a few years back. We do not see the other Seven Dwarfs. We may never see the Seven Dwarfs again unless they get those upgraded looks as well. Maybe someday. Then we have Snow White. She was the first character to get that character 2.0 look, and that was about 2014.
I just noticed it looked like Snow White was sporting a new tattoo there, a tattoo of a lizard. Let's see if it's still going on in this. There it is.
That's so funny.
I did not notice that until just now, so that's pretty cool.
I hadn't noticed that either. That's actually, the lizard. That looks really cool. It's always fun to spot the lizards. So Dopey has this fantastic look to him. And I just, you can't really go back to the old topiaries anymore after this.
When Snow White had that perfect face, but then the dwarfs didn't. It just didn't work. It didn't match. So at least now they match, and they look great.
That was like 2014, and we know the hand model for that.
That's right. And there is a nice new mug from the beer garden and from the
Stein,
the
a
shop.
beer
Nice
Stein.
Yeah, they'll probably end up at my house at some point.
I'm sure it will. And
our house, I should say.
The orchids here, there are some that are still higher up, but a lot of and I asked Debbie, who has been in horticulture for like 30 years, about this. I just thought it was interesting that they brought so many of the orchids down to people level, because usually they're like high up.
Right, way
high.
So
you like have to crane your head to see them. And they're just beautiful. And, there's something about orchids. I think they're fairly easy to, they can just grow everywhere. They're not as, when I was younger, I thought they were very rare and very,
Well, I think it's hard to keep them going, because we've tried before and they always didn't last very long.
Well, a lot of things, we've tried. So, but it's just so cool to see them right there.
And a quick look at the 3 caballeros. We saw them more detail last week, and now we're going to talk about the Healthful Trail. We actually put this to the test, and let me tell you, and this was on the day before the festival opened, so you don't see the nice cushions, and they had covering patio furniture.
Yes.
It was delightful, and we had a nice breeze. We had a drink, and we just sat there. I could have fallen asleep, and they encourage that in the sign.
Well, there's like umbrellas and such.
Yeah.
It was, I don't really know what the play is there, but I enjoyed just relaxing. It was so nice.
And we had a really tough time getting into this
the
Goodness Garden Butterfly House, because it was always really, really crowded. But on the very last day, the 4th day, on our way out, we decided we'll just take a walk past and see. And it wasn't too bad, so we got to go in, and it was really, really nice.
Well, by crowded, you mean the line to get in was very long.
That's
because
what I meant, yes.
They're not putting as many guests into the tent. It's still a little busy for me, to walk around in, but it's popular, and it's on the way in from Epcot, so guests see that. It's one of the first things they see as they come into Epcot.
Yeah, but what I was saying is, the line was all the way back to the Imagination Pavilion, so it was quite the wait. So this was nice, about 5 minutes, and you're in, and look at that beautiful butterflies.
And so you can learn about butterflies in here. There were a lot of butterflies. A lot of times in the past, it's been easy to capture butterfly photos. It was a lot harder to, on this one. And I don't know if it's the weather and they were just more active, and you can see more butterflies are on their way.
Yeah, there have been a few years where it was really, really cold and you had very few butterflies. So this was just perfect butterfly weather, I guess.
But it was hard for me to capture it. They were just so active in this case. So, you've got your signs, wear a mask when you're taking the photo. Oh, and here is one of the, I think, a monarch? I think these are the monarch.
I believe it is a monarch butterfly. Beautiful. Look at that. And it's so colorful.
And actually, you were able to capture one.
I captured many. I had no problem.
I did. I was like,
no
I
problem.
want that butterfly, but he kept, they kept going in different directions.
It's all just, just patience and luck. And I noticed they seem to stick around on these little planters. Maybe they're sticky stuff. It looks like his feet are kind of sticky down there.
His feet are sticky.
Yeah, maybe it's a sticky planter.
I think, they seem pretty happy to be, running around there. So here we are on the way out, and I have a feeling we're looking at construction now.
You are correct. And by the time that we're posting this, that might be all gone.
No, I don't think it's all gone yet.
The frame is still hanging in there?
Little bit by little bit, there I am.
You've changed outfits. You've changed outfits like 3 or 4 times.
No, I haven't.
During this, because your cameos are different days.
Well, that's what I wore in the tea garden a few minutes ago. So Woody and Bo get to look at the construction. They're with their sheep. She debuted 2 years ago for Toy Story 4. And Woody got an upgraded look at that time because he actually looked different. And because they were getting the look, then Buzz Lightyear also got the new look. And then those sheep, I always think of Shaun the Sheep.
Yes, I do too.
When you're looking straight on, you don't see the fun, the way the sheep look. They have these really fun smiles, but you can't really see that.
Well, I think I must have read your mind because I'm about to show a close-up of such a thing.
Well, like looking straight ahead, you don't really see it, but they are just so adorable. Like if you're going from the side on either side. So here is Buzz Lightyear. He is again in front of Mission Space. That he's almost always here. A couple of years ago, he was in with Woody and Bo.
Yeah, this used to be Stitch's location for a number of years.
Yes.
We haven't seen Stitch.
We have not seen Stitch.
He is a retired topiary at this point.
I would not say that. He could come back.
For now. He's not in the festival this year.
He's not here this year. And now Bambi, Thumper, and Flower are over by Mouse Gear. They have a little different look this year as well. Again, we have found out it has to do with Imagineering.
And this is one of our favorite topics. As you can tell, we can never have enough to say about the festival. We love it. We can't wait to go back, and we'll be, it's not going to be we're going to do full shows for the 4 months, but we'll keep everybody updated on what's new at the festival.
Well, not just what's new, but what we get to experience, because we haven't experienced nearly everything at this point. But there's a lot of other things also going on around Walt Disney World and elsewhere. We have been so busy. We have enough to talk about for like a couple of weeks already.
And believe it or not, that is another show.
That's another show, thanks to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Check them out. There's so much going on.
Book that 50th anniversary trip sooner than later, I think.
Yeah, because I think it's harder and harder to get a reservation. And of course, they could open up a lot more reservations because people are getting vaccinated.
That's right. As all these vaccines are rolling out, I think you're going to see more and more travel coming back fast.
It's really exciting. I'm hoping that, a lot more.
I want to be part of that. I look forward to traveling.
I look forward to traveling later this year, too. And let's see, this week we did Gatorland.
Give Kids the World.
Give Kids the World. Opened Henry Starlight Scoops. We have Gaylord Palms coming up this weekend. We have a lot.
Magic Kingdom tomorrow.
Magic Kingdom. We're not going to do quite as much over the next few weeks.
It's really crowded. Spring break is here.
Yes, spring break. So we're going to do a little less than normal, but we already have
we don't have choice because a lot of the park passes are sold out.
But I wouldn't go as much anyway. So Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic, not the Food and Wine Classic.
Yes, we'll talk about that too. We have plenty to talk about.
We have so much. There's so much we could do. 2 more shows already, and we have the Polynesian Stay we haven't even talked about. And so. And we'll do little bits here and there, but I think a lot of March will be kind of laying low for a while.
Yeah. So on that note, thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.